Welcome everyone, I'm AJ, author and game developer, and I'm here to show you around Legends of Dragons, the card game. Overall, this video runs around 7 minutes and covers basic gameplay for a single player. While this is utilizing the digital version, the physical game is very similar as far as how to play. During a single player game, the opponents are the guardian dragons protecting each location and region on the main map, which is visible in the top center of the table. There are 27 locations to capture in order to win the game. As each location is captured, the player gains benefits that can be used for the next battle. These are defined on the region's reference sheet, which is shown in the top right corner. A match begins with the player drawing 6 cards and selecting one of them to be their avatar dragon card. If no dragon is present, the player may shuffle and deal again. The player then begins their first turn by placing an action card or a dragon card onto the playing field. The playing field is divided into 3 main areas. Your armada of dragons occupies the top 2 rows of attackers and defenders, the discard and draw piles to the right, and your avatar dragon sheet at the bottom. Attackers must attack, defenders must defend. Attackers must wait 1 full turn before attacking, but defenders can defend immediately. Each dragon has a different ability, although some share an ability. Some dragons are grounders and some have flying. Others are immune to cold or air. These abilities are targeted by action cards. Playing Torrential Rains means all flying dragons become grounders, except blues because they are water immune. But if Horrendous Winds is played, that targets all dragons except those that are wind immune. In some situations, it might be best to obliterate your opponent's defenders in order to begin dealing damage directly to their avatar dragon. However, some opponents lead off with a very devastating first round attack, which could effectively end the match. During those times, it is usually best to eliminate the most damaging dragons first. Regardless, no 2 matches will be identical, even if the same strategy is used. As a single player, the benefits are there for a reason. To ignore them is tempting fate and certain destruction. Now we can begin a match that is already in progress. The player draws 6 cards for their hand and plays their avatar dragon card. Round 1 begins with the player putting out the Torrential Rains card. This targets all flying dragons, making them grounders, and causes damage to them, -1 point of defense. It also removes the opponent's ability to damage the player because of the attack penalty, -2 points for attacking. This means the 2 copper defenders take mortal damage, leaving the gold and 2 green dragons basically fangless, causing no damage to the player. The next round, the player draws and puts out a silver dragon. That is 9-10 attack and defense respectively. Attacking with the silver dragon means the opponent must block it on the next round. Since the opponent is attacking for 0 damage, the next round begins with the player drawing and placing a brass dragon, 5-4 with flying. Because it has flying, the opponent must block with the flying dragon. In doing so, both dragons are eliminated. The next round, the player draws another card, another attacker is blocked, and another defender is taken out. This leaves the opponent completely open to all attacks by the player. As the match continues, Torrential Rains will expire, forcing the player to have a defender in place to prevent any damage and temporarily adjust to a new strategy. With the opponent's defenders wiped out, the player merely has to survive to continue damage their opponent in order to win. Once a dragon is played in a position, the player may not replace it until it has been eliminated. Dragons may not swap positions from attacker to defender or vice versa, unless using the benefit.